Well, today we begin day 110 in our journey through the Word. At first, I had some difficulty just trying to focus in today's. There's a lot of names, again, very difficult to read. Not obviously not common names like we have today, but God brought me back to the word loyalty. Loyalty is a strong feeling of support or allegiance. Where is my loyalty? Where is your loyalty today? Do we want sometimes something so much that we forget God? We saw that in today's reading where we saw Abner after the death of Saul, that he refused to acknowledge David as God's anointed king. But he did not go to God and seek him. Instead, he went and anointed and appointed one of Saul's sons as king. He was it may have been all selfish because he was Saul's commander of the army, his commander in chief of the army, and he may have known had he bowed down to David as the king or acknowledged him as the king, that he would lose that prestigious position. We saw already the list of David's 30 mighty warriors in our reading today. Maybe he knew that he was not going to be a part of that. Maybe he feared for his life, knowing that he had actively pursued David in the name of King Saul to kill him, and that never happened. But Abner proclaims David's son, and I'll try to say this, Ishbosheth, as king, and he reigned for 2 years. He was finally murdered by his own captains. But I found it interesting. His name meant man of shame. But the people changed it, because if we go back in 1 Chronicles 8:33, we first see him introduced, and his name is Ishbaal, or Ishbaal, which means man of Baal. And I found that very interesting. Why would a father, the king of Israel, allow his son to be named, have the meaning of man of Baal, Ishbaal? And because the most faithful of the Israelites so hated Baal worship that they frequently changed his name to where it became Ishbosheth, Isbosheth, man of shame. Equally as bad, man of shame, man of Baal. Interesting that a father would name his son that. But I want us to remember, back in Samuel 8, 5 through 9, this is what the people had to say. It said, "Give us a king to judge us like all the other nations." And Samuel was displeased with the request, and he went to the Lord for guidance. And this is what the Lord said: "Do everything they say to you, for it is me they are rejecting, not you. They don't want me to be their king any longer. Ever since I brought them out of Egypt, they have continually abandoned me and followed other gods. And now they're giving you the same treatment." And again, this is God speaking to Samuel. So they're not rejecting Samuel, they're rejecting God. So God says, "Do as they ask, but solemnly warn them about the way a king will reign over them." God knew that the loyalty to a man would become more important than a loyalty to a God. He saw that. He knew that in the other nations, but he knew he so did not want that for the heart of the people of Israel. But that's what they demanded. And so we saw today in the reading the loyalty of Abner, not to God, not to God's people, but to a man and his family. And my question for you today is, where is your loyalty? Is it to man or is it to God? Will we seek God first in all things? Will you seek God first in all things? Even what we consider small is big to God, because He so wants to be that center of our lives, that focus, that, like David, where David prays in today's reading in 2 Samuel 2:1. Just, God, should I go back? Do we ask those simple questions of God? Which town should I go to? Where should I live? Where should I work? Where should I worship? Who shall be my friends? Do we ask and seek God in all things in our lives? It's our question to think about today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow as we continue our journey through the Word.